Anytime I'm giving a presentation or I'm kicking things off, toughest thing sometimes is to actually start it.
When you look at blank page of whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
this is the toughest one, is that you need to get inspired in the beginning and then it kind of starts flowing.
The first time when he gave a speech in front of 5,000 people, he came out and then ran back to the bathroom and threw up.
No matter how many times you've spoken, you always get a little bit of...
You always get that nervousness. I had an itch. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm in the Bay Area. I really want to go work for a startup. But what startup would hire me? I said, I don't care. I don't care. I'll mop the floors if I need to. People called me crazy because they had a really good job. I was at Cisco.
When I think about Syed today, I can't imagine this guy doing anything other than sales.
But then we come here and we're sitting on
gold mine. The proof that this is so superior is that even years and years later, there's really nobody who has successfully copied, even copying, right?
The solution we had built is so flexible. We pretty much didn't have to do anything to fit in AI.
The idea of integration of network plus these other services have always succeeded.
And the platform that we have built at Alkira, I think is the only platform in the industry which solves all the connectivity problems.
Now this is very, very grassroots game changing, what we're talking about here.
I still don't know if rest of the industry clearly understand what actually as a service means and how to build it.
From my perspective, this technology is a game changer.
I think the human way of configuring is probably completely going to vanish. I don't think it's by accident. It was strategic.
They love the solution. I get phone calls and go, why are you guys are not just adopted everywhere? Why did you want to join Alkira? You specifically, Mr. David Klebanoff.
I mean, there's of course an element which has nothing to do with solution, right? This is an element of just personal relationships and personal connections that we have developed over the years with this team that has been building for a decade, right?
So whatever they build, you would follow?
Not blindly, but it's certainly following individuals of mind,
with a proven track record.
Yes, proven track record, but also like-minded individuals, right? It's something that is appealing to us. Is that it's not like you would trade, being innovative or on cutting edge just in favor of following people that you already know, right? It's not about that. It is about the next step in your career, but if that also coincides with the fact that you keep on working with the individuals that you worked before, you trusted before, they trust you. It's another dimension of decision making.
Yeah. It makes it a lot simpler. Who you work with and who you work for makes a difference. We spend so much time here, right? This is it becomes like your family.
This is our second home.
Second home.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you, Syed? Why did you decide to join?
Why did I decide to join Alkira? I mean, the founders, Amir Natif. I wanted to follow them. I had no idea what they were doing. I didn't actually know Amir Natif before Viptela. Actually, I met them at Viptela, and Viptela, I gained a tremendous amount of respect for them. And then when they were doing this, they obviously they were in stealth mode. They couldn't share what they were doing. I said, I don't care. I don't care. I'll mop the floors if I need to. But
I think you literally said that.
Join.
Maybe
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll mop the floors, but I'll join. I want to know. People called me crazy because they had a really good job. I was at Cisco. Things are
comfortable.
And you're Viptela, right? I mean, you're right. There were very few people who joined for Viptela. All three of us.
True.
And we were at Cisco. And people were like, oh, don't go there. They're just building another switch. That's what people were saying. Don't go there. But I was like, you know that? I was like, you don't know that. You just they're like, no, we've heard from the grapevine. They're building a switch. So, but then I said, no, I want to join. I know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're not building a switch. But even if it is a switch, it's gonna be a pretty badass switch.
Yeah. I'll trust.
It's gonna be worth it.
Nice.
But yeah, no. But from a technology, let's shift gears from a technology standpoint. Maybe Sukriti, you can talk about from a technology standpoint. What maybe after a year, or if you didn't know exactly right before of joining Alkira, what made you want to? What made you kind of see the light here, or when did you see the light? Maybe that's saying this is something that's could be game changing.
I think before I answer that question, we just asked you what made you join Alkira.
Yeah.
And David was answering the same question. And your current question kind of segues my previous answers into this one, right? When I was thinking of joining Alkira, of course, I'd spoken to the founder, Atif and Amir. I kind of knew what they were doing. And I don't know if you guys remember from Viptala days, towards end of Viptala, we already started seeing the transition, right? Like when early SD-WAN days, all we did was branch to branch or branch to data center sort of connectivity.
That's right. You're right.
But towards end of Viptala days, we started seeing cloud migrations, data center shutdowns, and I remember I was involved in one of the early cloud adoption business for a vendor, like a customer, and all we had to do was connect two VPCs or like extend their SD-WAN fabric into two VPCs.
This was when you were at Viptala, or
at Viptala,
just,
at Viptala.
Oh, okay.
And it took me 2 weeks. We actually went in person to do this to Oklahoma City. And it took us 2 weeks to extend connectivity from their SD-WAN fabric into two VPCs because they had the data center shutdown on the horizon and they wanted to move everything to the cloud.
Well, I mean, the virtual instances weren't available. So
we had the virtual instance. Towards the end of Viptala, we developed cloud on-ramp.
In AWS?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the
cloud on-ramp. Like we had developed the virtual instance.
I thought that was really after, right after Cisco.
No, towards end of it, we had the virtual instance.
We had the cloud on-ramp?
VH Cloud.
Yeah. And we kind of extended that, but it was super complicated, even though we had like the virtual instance deployed. We had to learn all the cloud networking, right? And then, of course, I think the answer, all three of us giving the same answer on why we joined Alkira, right? The number one is people, right? You can be in the greatest company possible and do the greatest thing and not like people around you. I don't think you will be satisfied end of the day, right?
Be miserable.
But I think here, even if we do something small and we achieve something small, we are super happy because we are happy for each other and everybody has good relationship with everyone, right? So that is what brings us together. I feel like you guys have known each other for 15 years and we have known each other for 10 years and we still enjoy working with each other, right? That was the number one reason. And number two reason, of course, the transition we saw towards end of SD-WAN is what started Alkira, right? And we started seeing that across the industry, right? The branch to data center sort of started moving away and it became more and more distributed, right? So branches and data centers, and then applications started moving to single cloud, and for redundancy started moving to multiple cloud providers, and SaaS applications like SFTC, O365.
What you were doing customer support at Viptala,
I was a solutions architect there as well.
Right?
Yes.
There as well.
Yeah.
And then you were doing solutions
Technical marketing.
Technical marketing. How do I forget?
Yeah. And no surprise.
Yeah, because I remember I was working with a lot of customers with huge deployments, and we were always just running into Cisco IWAN. It was us and Cisco IWAN.
Yeah.
We were running against it. We were running into and I didn't actually get an opportunity to do the cloud on-ramp deployment until I went to Cisco. I remember our biggest customer when I joined Cisco said, "Hey, we want to extend Direct Connect into your. I said, what is a direct connect? But anyways, that has been an interesting journey. So basically, what I'm hearing is all three of us got lucky.
To some degree.
Yeah. On the as far as the technology goes, because from my perspective, this technology, and let's talk about this now, is a game changer.
Yes.
Right. So all three of us took the leap of faith, knowing the founders, right, and the people, right, that we're going to work with. Yeah. But then we come here and we're sitting on gold mine.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. I don't think there is any solution out there that exists which solves all the problem today. There's a lot of pointed solution to this disjointed network we are inheriting, right? Like when we talk to customers these days, just like 15 minutes back, we were talking about SD-WAN, right? Yeah. And now if you think about how the network looked like when we did SD-WAN to today, there is absolutely no correlation, right? Yeah. It is just a spaghetti mesh of network what we see today. And I don't think there is any single vendor who can solve this problem, right? You can do it in multiple ways, but you need pointed solution to solve every single problem, right? We are the only solution who can solve end-to-end
network connectivity.
Yeah, in terms of connectivity, right? We are the only solution that is out there. And I concur what both of you said, that you stepped on a gold mine, but I don't think it's by accident. It was strategic, and like Atif and Amir had this vision.
It was definitely not an accident by them, but we didn't know what they were doing. We followed them because all three of us just came for the people. And then when we came, I remember I signed an NDA and I joined. I was like, you're going to keep your mouth shut.
But yes, Alkira is definitely a unique solution out there, right? And even 7 years later, almost 8 years later, it is still unmatched, right? In this industry where everything can be copied, especially if it's a software-based solutions, I think what Alkira has achieved as a foundational technology, the proof that this is so superior is that even years and years later, there's really nobody who has successfully copied, even copying, right?
But real quick though, what did we do?
As Alkira.
Yes.
Yes. So the idea of network as a service is not a new idea, right? If you search network as a service, you're going to find references to network as a service in many places. Yeah. What Alkira has done is taken this concept of network as a service and changing the traditional definition of network as a service and adopt it to the world where cloud is dominating, where automation is dominating, where now AI is becoming a dominant force, right? It's taking this concept that existed before, but changing it to the way that it's almost unrecognizable now. And that is the foundational sort of change that Alkira drove by solving these complicated enterprise networking problems with an extremely elegant, easy to consume, easy to troubleshoot, easy to monitor, easy to deploy method of doing things, which is traditionally associated with, let's say, network as a service technologies, but doing this in a way that is extremely friendly to cloud.
Why as a service? Why did we say, is that how we started? Like, we're going to develop a network as a service?
Because I think networking has been long dominated by the fact is that you have very senior qualified engineers who have this really unique specialized skills that's almost unparalleled in an industry, right? And these individuals, through their skills and being crafty, build these connectivity solutions for their organizations, right? And the idea is that that's great, but a lot of these things that are being done are sort of being forced upon them by the fact that they're using technologies that just operate in a specific way. So if I were to take the same engineers and I would revector their creativity in such a way that I would eliminate those mundane tasks that have to perform in order to achieve the results, and I'll give them the fast track to get straight to the finish line. right? That is something that these engineers and an organization as a whole will appreciate. And the fact that as a service solution is doing exactly that. Is the as a service solution is basically streamlining the journey from the start line to the finish line, and you don't have to sort of run the entire 100 miles or 10 miles, right? You can sort of just leap to the finish line, bypassing the entire journey.
But to me, and Sukru, jump in anytime. The biggest thing that I've noticed is networking and network engineers were completely okay doing things status quo, the way they were always done it, and they're very happy about CLI access and hop by hop configuration and hardware dependencies, right? Completely changing that mindset of what we did at Alkira was what was exciting for me, right? Being able to now, because at that time, right, and what we started at 2018 about, right at the beginning of 2018, if I'm not mistaken, cloud was already being adopted, right? Pretty big adoption of cloud. So you can look at compute was already adopted. So if you go to in a company and to talk to any DevOps or compute person, they would say what's so innovative about running instantiating a VM and putting an operating system on it and doing what I need to do, right? That's not a problem. But if you went to a network engineer and he said, what if I told you that you can build a global network, and on that global network you don't have to deploy any hardware? As a matter of fact, you don't even have to deploy any software. No downloading of any software. And don't even worry about creating management. Don't worry about out-of-band management either, right? Don't worry about all this PBR that you used to do. Don't worry about all this source netting you used to do, right? This literally is that intent-based networking. Remember, in Cisco, we used to talk about intent-based networking. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything there. There wasn't any. Right. Here, there is intent-based networking. I can say, from this production applications towards the internet, go through the firewall. That's intent-based networking.
Yeah.
Is it
yeah. No, I completely agree with what David and what you're saying, Syed. And just to add to, instead of being repetitive, just to add to what you guys said, of course, as a service word, like network as a service, the word lingered around for a long time, right? But I think until we actually did Alkira, nobody really knew what is network as a service.
I remember the utility example we used to give, right?
Yeah, and no one actually attempted to solve networking problems with as a service approach.
Yes.
Right? And again, like the words were floating around, but nobody actually solved the problem.
Yes.
I think we are the first ones who completely eliminated the dependency on, like you said, Syed, no hardware to deploy. You don't need to worry about racking and stacking, power, no software to manage. There's no upgrades, downgrades, and no capacity planning. How good is that, right?
I mean, the biggest thing, no capacity. That's the biggest one. Like, another biggest one,
right? Like every conversation that we had in the past life revolved around, oh, what capacity I would need 5 years from now. I want to buy that big box.
Yes.
Right. Now, I don't even need to have that conversation, right? You don't need to spend so much capex upfront money, because you don't need to build something which you need for 5 years from now. You consume what you need for today, and as your needs grow, this infrastructure can grow and satisfy all your requirements, right? This is it. It sounds so good in words, but
it really is true.
It is true, right? Like we have been doing it for like a while now, right? I think that was the biggest advantage of as a service, and we are the only ones who are able to do it. And that is the biggest reason, I think, David, no one's able to copy us, because I still don't know if rest of the industry clearly understand what actually as a service means and how to build it.
That's a very good point, actually.
Right. And I think, even if I go back in time, like Atif and Amir and all of us learning from them have kept that philosophy. Like if you go back to SD-WAN, we stopped configuring BGP during SD-WAN time, right? Like before, I mean, if you had to configure like L3 VPNs. I mean, you need to be an expert, right? Like CCI level expert.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, it would be a nightmare.
Yes, yes, yes.
But with SD-WAN, we cleaned it up. Like go to UI,
Correct.
just plug in your AS numbers and few
Right.
things, and that's it. You're up and running, right?
Right.
I think we took that philosophy to next level and applied to as a service model where you didn't need to worry about like right from racking and stacking to configuring, maintaining and managing the software, hardware. We simplified to a great extent, and
yes,
it's an as a service model.
as a
It's
service as a service model that's actually solving a lot more use cases, right? With the SD-WAN, we're solving that one use case of WAN, right? Connectivity.
Yes.
Here, we are becoming the core of an enterprise.
Right.
Where think about this. Sometimes this is actually very interesting to think about, and maybe it takes a little time for someone to grasp this. If they're new to this concept of as a service and Alkira, that an enterprise can become kind of like a service provider to their own businesses, right?
Yeah.
All right. A service provider can literally say, all right, I've built my core with Alkira. What do you want? Oh, you have branches to connect? Connect to me. You have external business partners to connect? Connect to me. You have partners. Oh, you have partners in the cloud that want to connect to me. Connect to me. Oh, you have applications and you're moving into multiple clouds. Connect to me, right? Oh, you have users connecting in that needs access to these applications. Connect to me. Right. Me meaning that Alkira network, right. And I'll impose my policy and framework here. Now, this is very, very grassroots game changing. What we're talking about here. You look at the traditional network engineer, right? That goes in the path of I want to be a network engineer, and the path they go through, they'll go first after a CCNA, right? They'll still do that, even though certifications are probably not as praiseworthy as they were probably back when we were doing it, all right? But people still kind of go to those books of CCNA, CCNP, CCIE, and etc. And what you learn in there are very specific set of skills on how to use hardware-based hop-by-hop devices. This changes the game.